right. Well, welcome back to this episode of Noke Wrestling News. I believe this is our 51st episode, so definitely covered a lot. Excited today. We've got a lot to cover. We've got two guests here, two ODAC Wrestlers of the Week, Jonah Paulino and Cam Cavins. We're also going to cover season opener 2 weeks ago. Roanoke College hosted with Virginia Tech the Southeast Open. Last weekend, Roanoke College was at the Cougar Open, and then we've got some news about an upcoming event this Saturday. So to get started, we have to say congratulations to two guys right here, Cam Cavins and Jonah Paulino, on the ODAC Wrestler of the Week. I'm assuming lightweight and heavyweight ODAC Wrestlers of the Week. Sweet. Sure. Congrats. So I guess I'll start with Jonah. So Jonah, freshman year, right?
Yeah.
So you're from Massachusetts. You're starting your freshman year at Roanoke College. I guess talk a little bit about the difference that you've seen so far. You already have two tournaments under your belt at the collegiate level. Talk about like the difference between high school wrestling and college wrestling thus far.
There's probably not much of a change now with high school transitioning into the 3-point takedown and all that, but the 3-minute period at the start it's definitely a change. You gotta know how to manage it better, and a lot of guys they don't have the energy or the condition to last the full 7 minutes. So if you know how to wear guys out and believe in your condition, then you could win any match.
Sweet. Talk a little bit, it's always an adjustment when guys come out of high school, and start in college. Talk about like how, wrestling's a huge part, but also academically, you've got to get that right up front. So talk a little bit about how that adjustment's been, getting used to going to classes and then going to practice. Have you adjusted well? And also, what's your major?
Yeah, I've adjusted well. It's a lot different. You're not on a routine schedule, waking up at 7:30 in the morning to go to class and stay in school till 2 or whenever you're out of school. Your classes are all spread out. Practice could be 6 a.m. in the morning, 4 at night. Some days you're getting 2 a days with a lift in. My major, I'm undeclared right now. Maybe thinking about doing the MBA program. So I've adjusted very well to the school and change of high school to college. It's not too hard to adjust to.
Awesome. Talk a little bit. I know, Coach Girardi was an ad this year, especially for the lightweights like yourself. Talk a little bit about like the impact you've already seen from Coach Girardi. And I'm assuming you've been training with him some one-on-one. And talk about that a little bit.
He's been good. He's helped me a lot with my diet. It's a lot of things he's done for me, not just wrestling wise. With the dieting and all that, it's been good. It's made me progress down to weight better. He's also helped me with positioning and getting better at certain positions that I wasn't so sound at before.
Awesome. So, I know you've been practicing, been on campus for a couple months now. So far, who's your favorite practice partner on the team?
I don't know. I wrestle with my brother a lot, but
he hurt me like the first practice. My back still isn't right.
I'm not sure. Mac was a good drill partner when he was wrestling and stuff. So, there's a lot of good guys to wrestle with. I don't really have a favorite.
All good. So, you wrestled in the Southeast Open, and then the next competition, the one you won ODAC Wrestler of the Week for. Talk a little bit about your performance at the Cougar Open. Obviously, you placed first there. Walk us through a little bit of some of your matches.
First match, it was just trying to pick up because I had a rough start at Southeast Open. It wasn't really where I should have been, and I just need to believe in myself and know that what I've done these couple months before the season was already done. I just need to believe and trust myself and trust the conditioning that the coaches have put me through and put my skills to work because I've been doing it my whole life.
Sweet. Well, congratulations, and we're definitely excited to see what you do the rest of the year. Moving on, Cam, junior out of Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Wrestling 197 for Roanoke this year. So obviously being a junior, you're a little bit more established than Jonah. Talk a little bit about, when you joined, 2 years ago, your freshman year till now. Talk about like your expectations for preseason versus how you approach preseason this year, some of the things you maybe did wrong in the beginning that you've changed now.
Yeah, so when I was a freshman, I kind of came in super like unprepared, kind of thinking it was, kind of going to be the same as like high school in a sense. But, I was pretty unprepared. My diet wasn't really in check. Sleep schedule wasn't right, just not doing the right things. And, I'm not saying everyone goes through that, but I feel like some people learn, as they go on throughout, their collegiate career, especially like wrestling here at Roanoke. You live and you learn. And, this year I kind of took a real different approach. Like, I got my diet in check, started trying to get my sleep schedule right, just water, a gallon a day, a little bit more. And, those things really, really help, and they build on, especially like right to where I am now. Like, I remember freshman year, my body would break down a lot more, and right now I feel good, even though, I'm a little bit beat up, still feel good to go. And yeah.
Talk a little bit about, the team environment compared to when you joined, because obviously when you joined 2 years ago, Roanoke College wasn't necessarily established as a wrestling program. Since then, I think we're a little bit more established as a program now. Definitely have some, leaders. We're getting ready to graduate our first full senior class. Talk a little bit about like the team dynamic, how that's shifted from kind of when you started, everybody was like underclassmen until now, where you've got yourself being one of them, one of the upperclassmen. Talk a little bit about how that's changed and how you think it's impacted the team as a whole.
Yeah, I think, especially when it comes to doing stuff like preseason conditioning, you got these older guys who have been through it. They try to help out like the younger guys. And it's kind of, I feel like we're a big part of our culture has come together. I've noticed it, especially, it's helped me too. Like me especially, I started trying to do the right things majority of the time. And I look at guys sometimes like Mac, who tries to do all the right things. Obviously he's got a lot of success. And I feel like guys can look on people like him as like a leader, and they can really follow the footsteps. I just feel like our culture has really been established, especially last year to this year. I feel like it's really, been there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's goes without saying, like definitely from where you guys were 2 years ago to now, it's 180 turn. Definitely the trajectory is headed upward. So really excited about, the rest of your season. Talk a little bit about, obviously, heavyweight or upperweight ODAC Wrestler of the Week. Talk a little bit about your performance at the Cougar Open.
Yeah, so I didn't really have the performance that I wanted at Southeast. So, when I was in weigh-ins, I was kind of thinking to myself, I was just like, what if I do a different approach? Like maybe try something new. I kind of went in with this mindset, not that I didn't care, but don't focus on like the result and focus on scoring. Just like how, Coach Etcher says, don't if you focus on results, you're never really going to get anything out of it. Focus on how you're doing and your effort. Like I remember one of my matches, I got taken down first, and I just thought to myself, just get right back up, get the next one. And I got right back up, got the next one. And, like he was saying, the conditioning, we work so hard that, none of these guys can really keep up. You just keep that same pace, and kind of just took a different approach and thought to, have fun with it and just score points.
Do you think, from freshman year till junior year, do you think you're more relaxed before a match?
Yeah. I remember freshman year, I was like super nervous before everything. And that really affected, my performance. And even like last year, I still did the same thing a little bit. But I feel like this year I try to, I don't really like to listen to music anymore. I kind of just like to be calm, fill out a game plan and just try to have fun. Because, we work so hard that, competing is supposed to be the fun part. I kind of realized that this year, especially going into not Southeast, but Cougar.
So favorite drill partner?
I'd probably have to go with my man Kyle Lee. Kyle Lee's been my training partner. Yeah. Probably since freshman year to now, we've probably trained with him the most. So I'd probably have to go Kyle Lee.
Nice. Thought I had one more question for you, but I don't. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah,
we're really excited to see what you guys do, and good luck.
Thank you.
I was like, good gracious, ass bodacious, flirtatious, trying to show patience. I'm waiting for the right time to shoot my steam, waiting for the right time to flash them keys, and I'm leaving, please believe in, me and the rest of my heathens, checking out a lock at the top of the Four Seasons, penthouse, rooftop, bird. I heard you died twice. in the grave. And the second time is the last
Camping's
time
gone
that
good so
somebody
far.
mentions your name. So I leave here on this earth. Did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people? Or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria. Judging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring us. 20,000 deep up in the street like we some warriors. My mama told me never bow your head.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am.
As you can see,
I couldn't forget.
Pretty mad in my
I
opinion.
made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see
And y'all are family.
sunrise. Now I feel
That's a wrap. 2024, Noke Team Camp.
glorious.
Oh, we're live. We're back. Noke Wrestling News, episode 51. We just had 2 ODAC wrestlers of the week. Cam Cavins, Joanna Paulino. Really excited to see where they're.
My 2 recruits, by the way.
I found out about Cam. I think I made the first call to Cam.
Yeah, okay. So a lot's happened. Since last time we talked. Season kicked off. Especially 2 weeks ago. Roanoke College hosted the Southeast Open. With Virginia Tech at Roanoke College. Really excited. The night before the Southeast Open, Virginia Tech actually hosted Chattanooga in their first full match of the year. So it's exciting to have them in the building the night before. Got to see some good Tech fans there, and then the next day having the Southeast Open. I know Roanoke College didn't enter the whole team, but definitely put a lot of guys in. Just to highlight a few names, and I'll let you go into a little bit more detail. But some of the guys that placed in the freshman sophomore division. Xavier Preston got third at 174 pounds. Xavier, obviously last year one of our national qualifiers. At 197, Lorenzo, national qualifier as well. Last year he placed third in the freshman sophomore division. And then a new guy, a new face, but not too unfamiliar since we just saw his brother sitting here. Isaac Paulino is a transfer. Took sixth place at 125 pounds in the open division, I believe, correct? So, overall, it's a tough tournament. You're wrestling a lot of D1 schools.
Yeah.
There's not many. Shout out to, Logan Meister for bringing some guys from Ferrum up there as well. But, a large majority, it's D1 programs. So, as a whole, how do you think you guys did?
I think all right. Obviously, we're coming off. We still don't have a champ. We still yet to have I think Marky's got second twice. So, we're trying to get that first one there, But overall, it was we felt a lot this year after the way we felt last year, right? Kind of when we're there, kind of scratch our heads a little bit, but then kind of after looking over it, and did pretty well. 2 third placers, we've never had that, so that was pretty big. To really see those guys kind of take another shot. Neither of them placed last year. I think X went 2-2 maybe, and I don't even think Renzo wrestled in it, So it was a big step for those guys. Obviously, Paulino kind of getting his foot in the door. He actually kind of forfeited all the way down to 6 because he got banged up a little bit, so we decided to pull him. Obviously, an open tournament first of the year, didn't really have him not wrestling. Want to make sure we keep him fresh and whatnot. So, but yeah, it was a good weekend. Obviously, having Tech wrestle Friday there, that was huge. I think honestly, we probably gained, I bet 25 followers on Instagram from that. Seriously, we had because they tagged us in a picture with them, and it was it helped us, continue to grow our brand. We had we did our first. What do we call it, Nate? The little was it a little bar thing we
Beer
did?
garden?
Beer garden.
Yeah, beer garden,
Yeah, that was cool.
People were up there cheering, and it seemed like it was a huge. It actually seemed, I think Iowa and Oregon State maybe they did one the very next night.
I did see that.
Mascot Willie was posting. I was like, we just had one. He liked it and stuff. So pretty cool. I guess it's a pretty good hit, So continue to add that. Hopefully not our home matches, but then it was just cool to see new fans in our arena. There were so many people that I was like, man, this place is really nice. I've never been here. So hopefully transition over to us and have more fans. Obviously, we're trying to a big goal this year to try to get 1,000 fans in the Krager Center for us. So we're getting pretty close every year, but that's kind of our benchmark this year. So hopefully those fans will kind of transition over. But then the tournament itself, ran very smoothly. We were out of there at a really good, decent hour. And guys seemed like they did pretty well. Effort was really good. That was a big thing. We were kind of really focused on was a good effort. Right? Obviously, we had some young guys, and then we had a lot of older guys this year. But the most we've ever had in the open division. Obviously, having 22 seniors, got a lot of guys in there. So, but it still was a good weekend for us, and excited to kind of build off of it. It's nice for us too, because then you get to see, hey, what do we actually need to work on, right? Because obviously we've just been wrestling each other. You know, we had 3 simulation match days, but you guys know each other pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's not
it
the
was
same.
good to see where, like, what areas, and for the most part, every guy was exactly the same. Like, it was, all right, we all need as a team to work on this, you know. So, and then obviously the guys placed, you know, at the top up there, Xavier and Lorenzo, obviously 2 of my guys that I work with pretty heavily. So, really proud of those guys. Kind of come out swinging. X, I mean, really, he was in it the whole time, and just the guy he lost to, I mean, dude, just he got a takedown and got on his back right away as he couldn't get out. You kind of caught him a little bit. And then Lorenzo was hanging with the guy. Just a couple little mistakes here and there that kind of it extended the match out a little too far. I think we could have came back from that one, but just you know, some rookie mistakes with it. You know, so but both those guys, obviously, they've been really a couple, like, last 2 weeks have been really big for them because we kind of fixed those little things. And yeah, I'm really excited to see them. They're both ranked in the top 10 right now, and it's awesome time to you know, for those guys being kind of now the leaders of it all. Obviously, we're about to graduate a bunch of guys, so those are kind of the next step up. You know,
So when you mean like top 10, are we talking like regional rankings?
Oh, and Ashley.
Oh, wow.
Ashley.
Okay,
So,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
they're both up there. I think Lorenzo's like 5th or 6th right now, and X like, you know, 11 or 12, something like that. So both guys are, you know, getting some of the attention they definitely deserve. You know, it's obviously I mean, rankings they just look good on paper. Obviously, it's not the end of the year finish, but hopefully for them, it gives them a little confidence. You know, I think it does. And just looking at them training, I mean, it's usually pretty. Every day I can tell that, like, they care about wrestling, you know, a lot, and the results of many years. So,
You know, both Lorenzo and Xavier, you know, national qualifiers last year, and then, you know, come into this season. I'm wondering, do you see a switch in guys once they qualify, their mental state and their, like, almost like I can do this. Like, I am at that level where I can be competitive with any guy in the country. I mean, you see that with Xavier and Lorenzo, whether it's how they present themselves in the practice room, in workouts, and just like on the mat in general. Do you see that, like, click with them ever since they, you know, national qualifiers? Obviously, not All-American last year, but, you know, freshman last year. So
yeah, Lorenzo, I definitely do. Lorenzo came back this year a different person a little bit, like just more confident in his walk, you know, chest out a little bit more. I don't know if he just grew up or whatnot. I mean, this guy's earrings in now and stuff, so I don't know, big shot. But yeah, I definitely see it. I mean, Xavier's pretty even keel. He's kind of the same guy.
Always been like that in high school as well.
Know,
so,
it's sometimes hard to read him a little bit. I know, you know, obviously we have a really good relationship now. I know when he's down or if he's really high, you know, either or and right in the middle. But definitely Lorenzo, I see a lot of it. You know, X still, I think he does believe himself. You know, I mean, that's always been his biggest issue. I mean, I've known X since he was literally in elementary school. You know, and so that's always been kind of his thing, is believing in it. You know, he saw what we see. I mean, you know, he'd be a national champ right now for sure. So I think it just, for him, the biggest thing is just knowing he did the work, and it's kind of looking back on his training, right? But I mean, he's a really phenomenal student too. So, like, he kind of does everything right. You know, so just believing in that, like, letting him see that, hey, you do everything right. Well, why should anyone beat you? You know.
And then, you know, just talk a little bit about, you know, Isaac Paulino and kind of the impact he's made already. I mean, I know he's a transfer from
Springfield.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, had a good performance. Unfortunately, you know, had
No, he's already, I mean, stepped up in many ways as far as, like, being a leader. And obviously, you know, with Mac taking a year off, like, it's that's one of our biggest leaders. You know, so you need a guy that kind of fills that role right away. You know, even though they are obviously the smallest weight class, actually usually kind of the first one to speak up. And you know, Isaac's really. Obviously, we knew a little bit we were getting out of him. We were wrestling, you know, the year, and I know the match him and Mac wrestled. I mean, it was last 30 seconds. You know, Mac's happened to get kind of lucky and does what Mac does. But you know, he's already told me, you know, 3 or 4 times, like, the greatest decision you've ever made. You know, so you know, he can see another level of our program, you know, where we're at. You know, he's excited to be here. I can tell that. I mean, he really, again, just never really. He doesn't smile a lot, but he has, like, a little, like, you know, kind of. He's got a smile to him, I guess I should say, because he's a tough guy, you know, which is awesome, you know. But him and his brother, man, great people, and you know, obviously people we really spent some time with, and glad we got them both here, you know. So yeah, he's been a really huge impact, and I think obviously for us, when you have a guy take a year off, you kind of worry, like, you know, what we're going to do, you know. It's been, there's no worry, you know, because he stepped up and did what he needed to do right away, you know. So and obviously 125 for us in general is a competitive weight class all the time, you know. So to have him step up, and the other guy, I mean, obviously, you know, Josh Noble just won the Cougar. We'll talk about it a little bit here, but have him step up and win the weight class as well. You know, we're sitting pretty good right there. You know,
So you want to roll right into this past weekend?
Yeah, I think Coach Yatzer's going to jump on here
Oh, okay.
after a commercial break.
The sun came out. I went about to drop top. Party on the block. Looking like a car lot. Looking on thoughts. Sticking in a soft spot. Condo at the top. Looking like a skybox. I done got us all hot. I live in the ball lot. You wanna buy?
Right.
We're back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, welcome back to Noke Wrestling News. We just covered, Southeast Open 2 weeks ago. This past weekend, Roanoke headed down to Danville at the Cougar Open hosted by Averett University.
Yep.
Just at a high level, Roanoke had 5 first placers, 2 second placers, 1 third placer, 2 fourth placers, 6 fifth placers, 2 sixth placers, 2 seventh placers, and 1 eighth placer. So obviously you guys entered a lot of guys.
Yeah, we did. We entered the majority of our team. That we only did about a quarter of the team, probably the Southeast Open. So we had some guys that were trying to be real smart in how much we use them, and so we entered those guys in with the expectation to make weight and then to wrestle a couple matches. So nobody's hurt. So you're probably worried. I got a couple text messages, probably at least 5 or 6.
I know. I texted Blake when I saw it. I'm like, wait a minute.
So, yeah, those guys are all right. Like, yeah, they're fine. They're just that was kind of the plan going in. So, I thought we battled really, really hard and looked good. And you always like to see an improvement from the week before with the guys that did wrestle in both of them. And I thought we saw a big jump in our effort, and you can tell our training. Is right where it needs to be right now.
Mm-hmm. Just to highlight the first placers. Josh Noble, Jonah Paulino, Dustin Smith, Jack Bobeck, Cam Cavins, and Bailey Willman.
Yep.
Or sorry, Bailey got second, but still great finish. Maybe walk through a few. You don't have to go through all of them.
I think I had to pull it up because we had so many placers here just to kind of go through it. But 25. Obviously that's a weight we're really excited about as a staff. Just I think we have so many good guys there. Isaac Paulino, he didn't wrestle. He was one of the guys that was banged up in the Southeast Open a little bit, and so we sat him. But Josh Noble, he's first time down the weight, and so you don't really know. He's a big, he's now as a senior, he's a big 25-pounder. You don't know what you're gonna get that first time down the weight. And Josh, he exceeded expectations. To be honest with you, even the first match on, like sometimes that first match is tough until he gets to get hydrated again. But he took off like a rocket. And I think he tech fought or pinned everybody. So looked phenomenal and really excited. That's gonna be a competitive weight the whole year. So. And then 2 freshmen, Connor Lenahan and Samuel Ponte, I was really excited about too. And both guys showed a lot of grit. Just got to both need to get bigger and stronger. That's the bottom line. They both can wrestle. They're both tough kids. So 33, Jonah, it was here earlier, man. He was very impressive. I think he pinned or teched everybody on his way to the title. Was that right, Blake?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so it was really, really for a freshman and really the bounce back from last weekend. I know he's a little disappointed from the Southeast Open, but he bounced right back, and that's what you like to see, and showed a lot of maturity. Was pretty sure of himself the whole day, and when maybe a lot of freshmen would doubt themselves after the weekend before. So, and then just going through. Obviously, probably can't cover everybody, but 49, Dusty Smith did a great job. He really. The first match, I think, of the day, he wrestled a pretty good kid, and then ended up finishing third. Had him first round, and was beating him pretty good, and kid came back on him a little bit, but Dusty closed it out late and went on. And after that, he didn't have a close match the rest of the day. Kind of killed everybody, so did a really, really good job. Bailey Willman stood out. Man, that dude, the semifinals had a really tough match, really athletic kid, and was down early. Just kept chipping away at it and showed a lot of poise, and ended up beating that kid and making the finals. Really impressed with him. So at 57, Jared Pombo had a good day up to the finals. I think he was a little disappointed with the finals, obviously, and I think he had 4 tech falls all the way to the finals, and the finals just got headlocked. And the kid, that's pretty good. Topher wrestled him earlier in the day. I think in the quarterfinals, it was back and forth, and for wrestling really strong. I think he got thrown to his back in the very beginning, had to kind of chip away at it, and it got real close. I think, I think Topher would have beat him pretty easily, personally. But Andrew Boyd took third, did a great job. That's obviously a very good weight for us as well, too. Andrew McDougal wrestled a couple matches. He had 2 pins, I think, in the first period, then defaulted out. So that was kind of the plan all along.
Yeah.
65, I mean, real surprise, probably the surprise, the biggest surprise for the weekend. Jack Bobek, kind of been up and down his career a little bit, and some weekends look great, some weekends doesn't look that great, and he showed up this time. So he really didn't. I think he had a close first match, and then really, I think he pinned the rest of the way through the tournament. So, including the finals where I think he was down by 1 or 2 points, cradled the kid up and pinned him. A pretty good kid too. So I was really, really happy with his performance. So. Just going through, 84, that's a good weight for us. Obviously, Steve Martino's, Hunter Moore, Josh Epperly, they all battled hard. Took 3rd, 5th, and 6th. Kyle Lee at 74 did well. Really just one bad move. I think he would have won it, to be honest with you, or at least been in the finals. Just one bad decision, got thrown to his back, and headlocked and pinned. And we actually need to work on headlock defense. That just reminded me.
It sounds like
3 or 4 matches, I think, got headlocked and pinned. So, So, anyways, but then obviously Cam, he won 197. He won it, and had a tough match in the finals, but did a great job, and wrestled really, really well. So I was really happy with that. And then Nick Cook wrestling his second event at heavyweight and did a really good job, and finished in 7th. So, overall, I was really pleased. I was really happy with our performance.
So, obviously you're not 100% satisfied probably ever, but at this point in the season with these guys, how do you feel at this point? Do you think you could be a little better in some areas?
Absolutely. Everybody needs to get better, to be honest. We're not where we need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think I have a lot of faith in these guys. I do think these guys really care deeply about having success, and now it's just about fixing little mistakes and stuff. So, and I think these guys are, for the most part, we have some young guys who are still trying to find their way, but for the most part, guys are very eager to be great. And we're very vocal about our goals. Our goal as a program is to win a national title as a team. And so I think our guys are starting to believe they can do it here, right? So I think I'm just really excited about the future of these guys, and even the young guys. Again, some of them are finding the way, but the other half are doing a really, really good job, and having a lot of success. So I'm excited. This is a good group. I'm having a lot of fun. So never satisfied, obviously. So.
Yeah. So the Cougar Open, obviously, you guys usually hit that one almost every year, I think.
Yep.
At the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
I know you guys wrestled unattached
exactly,
to this one, so we actually wrestled under Noke Wrestling RTC.
Right. Both events, Southeast, because we overschedule. So you're allowed, this way rules, I think 16 events, and we overschedule just to get our guys matches and stuff. And I kind of like it early in the year because, guys have to kind of handle their own business, right?
Yep.
Being unattached, so the school can't, pay for anything. The school can't take you there. So guys kind of have to plan their own travel. Obviously Southeast Open is easy because we're home, right? But the Cougar, they actually have to plan their rides out, and I think it forces them to grow up a little bit, and learn how to handle the business. And some guys had adversity in the morning, right? Some guys couldn't find the facility, right? They called me at 6 a.m. I've been had a long week last week, so I was sleeping in, and so I'm like, hey, you guys got to figure it out on your own, man. This is part of growing up. So, but overall, we're very happy.
Yeah. So with the Cougar Open, do you guys see other ODEC schools there, or just kind of a mix, or?
Yeah, we saw Ferrum there, Shenandoah.
Obviously, Averett.
Yep. I think that's probably about it. I think for the
ODEC,
teams. Yeah. Washley's out there, so that's probably it. So it was kind of nice because I feel like this year we saw a lot more different teams than we have in years past, which was kind of nice to see some different schools. So
I guess speaking of Washington and Lee, Washington and Lee week, first
rivalry week right here.
Yeah, first duel of the year, but also first ODAC matchup of the year. You guys come into this. So Roanoke wrestles Washington and Lee this Saturday at 7 p.m. at Washington and Lee. Roanoke comes in ranked 7th in the country. Team dual. What is it? What's the ranking?
That's the tournament.
Yeah.
Or 8th is a dual meet team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I actually think we're a better dual meet team. We just we don't have any holes. You know what I mean? So I think but either Washington Lee, the weights they lost last year. They graduate some guys. They got some good guys filling in. So it's going to be. In Washington, always it doesn't really matter, how good each team is. It's always a tight duel.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So they beat us last year, obviously, at the Bud Whitehill duels, and then the week later we wrestled them at the Mill Mountain match, and we beat them there, and so so they're going to be looking for revenge, right? So I think, I expect a tight duel. It's going to be a fun duel. So.
Do you think the lineup you guys put in for this week is like the lineup for the year, given that?
It's a lineup for this week. I mean, we honestly we just take it week by week,
Mhm.
because guys, because for one, I don't think it'd be fair to the freshmen, right? So the freshmen generally get better throughout the year, right? So like that's why we really don't do wrestle offs anymore, because you hate to hang that over a freshman's head when they're just trying to figure things out, so to be fair, we really don't do wrestle offs. We kind of just whoever competes the best. And most of the time, there's a clear favorite, right? I mean, generally, you know what I mean? So, but as we get better as a program, it's getting a little murkier just because we're so deep at each weight.
I'm sure, yeah.
But generally, it takes care of itself. And the guys understand that, you know what I mean? And I think that for the most, they don't have to like it, but I think they respect it. So.
It's really all I have for
Yeah.
you. I mean, this Saturday, I'm sure Washington Lee will post the link so everybody can watch it at 7 p.m. But it's not a whole match this time, actually at Washington Lee. But definitely excited to see how you guys start the season.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think our guys are fired up too. I feel like a good energy in the room today, and I think.
I mean, that's a tough one to start with.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
but
Washington Lee
it doesn't get any easier.
It doesn't. No.
Yeah, we go up the following weekend. We go up to New York City or by there, and we wrestle Stevens, who I think is 20th in the country, which I think is really low. It actually surprised me that low. And then we turn around and we wrestle Castleton, who I think is number 8 or number 9 in the country. They're right below us. So it's gonna be it'll be a lot of fun. I mean, I think, but we set this up because we know what we have as a program and as a team, and I think we're not afraid of challenges. Our guys, that's what I love about this team. They're not afraid of challenges. So we're challenging right out of the gate, and then we get Thanksgiving break. But then we turn around, we go to the New Standard Invitational, which is one of the best tournaments in the country. So there's no let up. So.
Well, thanks, Coach. Thanks, Blake.